Hello, welcome back. For many years, Mark Lowry has stood out in the world of gospel music, not only because of his vocal abilities, but because of his unique way of blending heartfelt devotion with a sharp sense of humor. His personality has always been a big part of his appeal. Funny, sincere, and incredibly relatable. He wasn't just another singer. He was a storyteller who could make people laugh and then leave them in tears with a single note. His time with the Gaither Vocal Band solidified his place as a beloved figure in Christian music, and many would say he became the heart of the group's stage presence. The Gaither Vocal Band itself has been a cornerstone in the gospel genre for decades. Led by Bill Gaither, the group began in the 1980s and was built on the mission of spreading the gospel through beautiful harmonies and powerful lyrics. They weren't just a band, they were a ministry. Their songs touched lives, brought people together, and often felt like sermons wrapped in melody. Whether it was on stage, on television, or through recordings, their message was always consistent: faith, love, and hope in Jesus Christ. Their chemistry was undeniable. Fans viewed them not just as performers, but as a family, bonded not only by music, but by a shared purpose. Mark's entrance into the group marked a turning point. His comedic timing added a new layer to the band's performances, making shows not just inspirational, but unforgettable. While every member brought something special, Mark's connection with audiences was unique. He made gospel music feel more personal, more approachable. His voice blended perfectly with the group's tight harmonies, but it was his humor and authenticity that left a lasting impression. For years, the Gaither Vocal Band toured the world, sold millions of records, and became a household name in Christian homes. They were larger than life, and for many fans, they symbolized spiritual unity and comfort. But behind the scenes, like in any long-standing group, cracks began to form. Differences in vision, the pressures of constant touring, and the natural evolution of individual lives began to shift the dynamic. These issues were never made public, and the band continued to perform as if nothing had changed. Eventually, the tension became more difficult to ignore. Mark, who had given so much to the group, began feeling pulled in another direction. His heart was still in the music, but he also longed for creative freedom. Comedy had always been a passion, and he felt a calling to explore that more deeply. At the same time, other members were going through their own changes, focusing on solo careers, family, or ministry. What once felt like a tight-knit group began to feel like individuals headed down different paths. Then came the moment no one expected. In a candid interview, Mark revealed that the Gaither Vocal Band would never reunite. It was a clear, definitive statement that stunned fans. For years, people had held on to the hope of a reunion. One last tour, one more album, a final farewell. Mark's words closed the door on that dream. But he wasn't bitter or regretful. He was simply honest. The group had its time, and that time had passed. He shared that it wasn't about drama or fallout. It was about growth. People change, priorities shift, and sometimes the most loving thing to do is to let something go before it loses what made it special in the first place. Mark spoke of his deep respect for the band and for Bill Gaither, who had given him such a meaningful platform. But he also acknowledged that staying would have meant sacrificing parts of himself he could no longer ignore. Fans were divided in their reactions. Some were heartbroken, feeling as though a piece of their spiritual life had ended. Others admired Mark's courage and honesty. Social media lit up with both support and disappointment. Some fans clung to the past, while others began to embrace the idea that something new could still carry the spirit of what once was. After the announcement, Mark moved forward with his own projects. He continued to tour, speak, and perform, often mixing comedy with inspirational messages. His love for music remained, but he had found a new way to share it that felt more aligned with where he was in life. The other members also pursued their own paths. Some dove deeper into ministry, others focused on solo work, and a few simply took time to rest and reflect. They all remained linked by their shared history, but they were no longer trying to recapture the past. Mark has often reflected on his journey with gratitude. He's never spoken of his time in the Gaither Vocal Band with anything but love and appreciation. He knows that what they created together was special, something that can't be replicated. And he trusts that even though the group has ended, the music and memories they made will continue to inspire people for generations. He's also used this experience to remind fans that change isn't the end. It's a new beginning. Life moves forward, and sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let go of what was in order to make space for what could be. The Gaither Vocal Band left behind a legacy not just of songs, but of healing, encouragement, and joy. That's something no breakup can erase. Mark closed the chapter with grace, but he carries its message forward. His parting words to fans were simple. Remember the music, cherish the moments, and keep the faith. The Gaither Vocal Band may never return as a group, but the spirit they embodied lives on, in their songs, in their stories, and in the lives they've touched. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more video.